as Judge Ito took the bench just after 10 a.m.
All right, back on the record in the Simpson matter.
The most matter-of-fact, familiar phrases now seemed fraught with tension. Tension that built as the judge cleared up last-minute business. He announced that the jurors had decided not to speak with either the media or attorneys following the verdict.
All right, counsel, is there anything else we need to take up before I invite the jurors to join us? All right, Deputy Trower, let's have the jurors, please.
The next couple of minutes seemed an eternity as the jurors filed into their seats one last time, showing no expression, no hint of what was to come.
All right, ladies and gentlemen and the jury, I'm going to ask that you carefully listen to the verdicts as they are being read by the clerk, Mrs. Robertson. As after the verdicts have been read, you will be asked if these are your verdicts. And I would caution the audience during the course of the reading of these verdicts to remain calm, and that if there is any disruption during the reading of the verdicts, the bailiffs will have the obligation to remove any persons disrupting these proceedings. All right, Mrs. Robertson. All right, Mr. Simpson, would you please stand and face the jury? Mrs. Robertson.
Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson, case number BA097211. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Nicole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information. Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the State of California versus Orenthal James Simpson. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Ronald Lyle Goldman, a human being, as charged in count 2 of the information. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, further find the special circumstance that the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, has in this case been convicted of at least one crime of murder of the first degree and one or more crimes of murder of the first or second degree to be not true. Signed this 2nd day of October 1995, Juror 230. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your verdict? So say you one, so say you all.
Yes. The emotional reaction inside the courtroom was matched in kind outside. Wherever Simpson supporters had gathered, there was jubilation.
You know OJ didn't do that. You know that was a big old hit, man. It wasn't from OJ, man.
Others watched in stunned disbelief and dismay.
Oh, shit. Not guilty.
Another one.
You heard the verdict. Can we ask your reaction?
I just want to be alone.
The police also listened, and as they heard the verdict, tried their best to follow an order to not react.
Not guilty of the crime of murder.
Inside the courtroom, the jurors were being polled.
Juror number 1, as to count 1, is this your verdict?
The family of Ron Goldman, especially his sister Kim, had dissolved in grief, while the Browns sat stunned as if in shock. Across the aisle, Simpson's family cried for joy.
Mr. Cochran.
And the defendant, who seemed stunned at first, lip-synced his thanks to the jury that had set him free.
All right, the defendant having been acquitted of both charges, he is ordered transported to an appropriate sheriff's facility and released forthwith. All right, we'll stand in recess.
And so it was over. At the same time, the debate had just begun.
I was absolutely disgusted, to be honest with you. I found it to be a shock. It left my jaw hanging on the ground, and I was in awe.
I think that the jury thought it was a setup, and everybody else in America thought it was a setup.
The evidence against O.J. was so overwhelming, especially the DNA evidence. You know, it's kind of, I can't believe he got acquitted. It's amazing.
I didn't feel that the evidence was strong enough to prove that he committed those crimes. The prosecution did not present their case in such a manner to convince me
I'm very upset about it. It makes me upset that I live in this city now. I mean, I was upset before with the riots and all that, but now this is like, I don't know what's going to happen. It's sending a message also to the black community that they can get away with stuff like this.
I have a certain amount of resentment for other people deciding what black people feel, what black people do, what black people think. But, you know, we are human beings like all other people, and we make just decisions. The facts were there.
Simpson was released at a nearby sheriff's station, and then, in an eerie echo of the slow-speed Bronco chase over a year ago, he headed home along the same route in a white van. The verdict was the beginning of a schizophrenic day, with a mood of celebration among those who believe an innocent man had been set free, versus a mood of cynicism and despair among those who believe Simpson literally got away with murder. Forrest?
Thank you, Judy. When we return, the defense and the prosecution speak out as the rest of the city of Los Angeles chooses sides in part 2 of Judy Muller's report.
This is ABC News Nightline, brought to you by Ford.
It's just like a dream.